Welcome, everybody, to the Exes podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Therese.
And we're the Exes, and we do this podcast to celebrate friendship and celebrate relationships. And that if a relationship doesn't work in one direction, doesn't mean you should throw the whole thing away. There's so many people that have built relationships over years, and then one thing goes wrong, and they discount everything. It doesn't make any sense. Life is too short to turn down an important friendship or relationship, or not to have people that you care about in your life. And that's what we like to talk about. And when we don't have something to talk about along that lines, we talk about murder and crime. So we pretty much cover everything.
Yes, we do.
We've got a great show. Now, this is a pre-recorded show. So if you're commenting, we're not going to answer you tonight or when you're watching it. But we will read your comments. We will go in there and read your comments. And we will, on our next show, we will talk about them. But we had to do a pre-recorded show for timing to get our guests together at the right time. So that's why we're doing this. Before we start, Therese, any news on anything that's going on? I hear there's something crazy in our Vallow Daybell trial.
Oh, yeah. Well, the lawyer tried to remove himself from the case, saying that he wasn't getting paid and blah, blah, blah. So he either wanted to be removed or have a excuse me, or have a continuance.
Sorry, guys. She chokes when she's talking about bullshit. And when we talk about law, it's all bullshit. All right, go ahead.
But the judge luckily denied that. He's got to stay on the case. He can bring help on if he can find some help, and the state would pay for that help. But the state will not pay him. And the trial's going ahead in April.
It's so funny because Trump's lawyer was trying to do the same thing, wanted to remove himself from the case so they can move the trial. And the judge says, no. So good. None of this lawyer crap is going to happen. And so we're still looking forward to maybe an April start, I hope, right?
April 1st.
All right. So we are going to, when we come around April, we will do some very special shows dedicated to both Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell and what's going on with that case and any other cases that come along. But today we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to go back to our nom de plume, our original idea of relationships. And we're bringing in people that have known you for just a little bit of time, right, Therese?
Just a little bit, yes. My childhood friends.
Yeah, and that's, first of all, that's amazing that, we're not going to say how long you've been friends, but we'll say multiple decades.
We'll say since grammar school.
Since grammar school.
Mm-hmm.
And and to maintain those friendships over the years, how important has that been in your life to have those friends?
Very important. I always know that there's 4 or 5 girls I can lean on, I can call, I can cry to. It's awesome. Right. And sometimes we don't talk for, a while, but then once we get back together, as you will see, it's like no time has passed. So,
that is wonderful.
Awesome.
That is wonderful. And I don't remember if I'd actually met any of them back in the day when we were kids. I might have, I might not have, I don't know. But since I have what's called CRS, can't remember shit. I apologize if I'm supposed to know them, but I do remember the names. So I remember the names. All right. So who do you want to bring in first?
Take your pick.
All right. Let's bring in Teresa first and tell us who Teresa is before we bring her in, Teresa.
Teresa is one of my friends from grammar school. She's one of the silliest friends I have.
That's awesome.
She's a little crazy.
And she will be representing the married women.
Oh, yeah.
Our conversation.
Married women. Yeah, sorry.
Not only married, but living in Jersey. There is a hell of a combination. Hi, Teresa.
Hello. Yes, I'm a little crazy. Crazy but fun.
That's right. Very much fun.
Always an adventure in this house.
Just to get everybody up to speed, you've been married for over 20 years. Is that correct?
Yep, 27 years.
27 years. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes 27 long years. Sometimes.
No, it's awesome.
That is fantastic. And it'll be great to have your perspective when we're talking about some of these things, because, a lot of people don't talk about relationships until they don't have one. But being in one is a good time to talk about that stuff. And your other friend, Lori, now Lori is still living a little closer to your original stomping grounds outside of Syracuse, New York, and she's engaged.
She's engaged, yes.
So let's bring Lori in. Lori, how are you?
Hello. And I have to add, we were the Charlie's Angels.
That's right, we were.
Yes, we were.
We were the Charlie's Angels.
And we always used to fight over who was going to be Farrah Fawcett.
Yes, and I never won. I was always Sabrina.
You were.
They were so mean.
That was so.
We were the mean girls. We always got
We'd be the new version of the
Teresa got her way the most.
That's true.
I was
Very true.
I was persistent.
It's the dimples.
I was persistent and pushy.
Yep.
Well, that's true.
Talkative.
So you three were inseparable from childhood all the way up, and then obviously you've gone in different directions, but stayed in touch. But I asked Therese, but I'll ask you guys. Does having a foundation for a friendship like that, is that important in your life? I'll ask you first, Lori.
Oh my God, absolutely. My path was a little bit different where I got married really young, had kids. So it made it hard because my life really separated me from them. And my life I never formed other friendships. So they were the only ones I ever had. I really had friends. I know it sounds terrible, but it is what it is. Those were, sometimes I live in the past a little bit because of it, because they were the friends that, you can't recreate that.
Right.
I agree with that.
Right. Even in hard times and in times of stress, or even in good times, it's just nice to know that they're there, though, and that that they're not lost. They are there, a phone call away, right?
It was magical. It was a magical time in my life, and so they were the friends you can never find again.
Oh, I feel the same way. I mean, even though maybe like Teresa said, we don't talk, months or whatever could go by, we don't see each other, and I come into Syracuse, a couple times a year, and we get together. We get together just like old times. We get together, and everybody's comfortable, and we're telling our stories, we're telling what's going on in our lives, and it's great. And I don't feel nervous about not telling them anything. Like sometimes I have friends in New Jersey, but you just don't give them all your secrets or tell them all your information or share all your personal stuff with them because you don't want to be judged.
Well, that's because we saw what happened when Charlie's Angels brought in other angels. It fell apart.
It fell apart.
Angels.
That is one thing that I have always felt, is that these guys don't judge me. No matter what I do wrong, no matter how I screw up, there's no judgment with them. They know everything about me. They still like me. So it's always a good little sounding board to get to. When we broke up, I texted them. I sent them a message.
Yeah, well,
even before I left Florida.
I'm just sitting here listening to this thinking they probably know all about me too.
Oh, they do.
This is very uncomfortable. Let's end the show now before this gets ended.
Yes, we do. We know everything. Well, not everything.
Thank you so much.
We
Good.
Wonderful. Of course, we were upset for our friend and felt bad for her and pissed off at you because that's how us women are. We always take the girl side of things.
Well,
right.
Of course, you've got to side with your friend, with your friends and family and all that stuff. But of course, it's funny because my father sided with Therese. So. But we broke up twice, and the first time we broke up, it was not a pleasant situation. The second time, although it certainly wasn't pleasant, it was certainly much more honest and forthright, and it wasn't the kind of like, it was kind of both of us saying it's not working. So, anyway, I don't want to get involved in all that. We're here to talk about
that's another podcast.
I'm an open.
We have a lot of subjects.
I've learned a lot, and I learned a lot mostly because what I didn't do was just sit back and blame somebody else for everything. I took a look at the truth of what things were, and I think most people in relationships, they have a relationship go south or fail on them or something goes wrong, and then before they figure all their pieces and parts out, they're jumping into another one. So you're pretty much going in with the same thinking that you had in your first one. Have you guys seen that happen in relationships? Like the mistakes you make the same mistakes, or you pick the same kind of people? Does that happen?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
Not this time.
Not,
I did it when I was younger. I did it in a different phase of my life in my 20s. So
Yeah.
It just took
That's
me a
what I
little
went
longer
through.
to figure out that I wasn't in my 20s anymore, and I had to be a little smart.
So, Therese, did you have some things you want to bring up and maybe get us going in a direction here? And
I do
again,
have some questions.
okay, go ahead, go for it.
All right. First one's going to be an easy one. What's on your nightstand, Lori?
My CPAP machine that I cannot use.
Oh,
My
Oh,
teeth,
wait, there's my husband.
my teeth grinding guard.
do you wear that?
I do when my teeth are hurting because I grind so hard. Yes.
I got
wake
to
up in the middle of
interrupt
the
for a
night,
minute.
oh God, I got to put that grind guard in.
I got to interrupt for a minute. Teresa's husband just came in and handed her a paper. Were those all the things you're not allowed to talk about?
Oh no, he was just writing me a note about the football game. But I fed
Do you have an
him.
update?
I fed him before I wasn't gonna feed till 7. I fed him before I came up here.
She fed him.
I asked him if he wanted to give input on the thing, and he said no. But of course, he had to come up just to see what we were talking about. I know why. He came up as an excuse. He wanted to know what we were talking. I was going to do it downstairs, but I thought, oh no, he's going to interrupt us. And he just can't help himself. He just had to come up with himself. He was playing around with his laptop, getting his briefcase ready for tomorrow. He just wanted to hear what we were doing. He doesn't fool me one bit.
Okay, so let's move on. Teresa, what's on your nightstand?
What's on my stand? Books, my phone, a lamp, my charger, so my TV remotes. Nothing exciting on my remote, or nothing exciting on my nightstand.
Teresa,
secret.
Teresa, you going to answer this too?
Oh yeah, I have a light. I'm trying to look and see. My phone. Well, my fan, because I still have my fan. And then on the bottom shelf, I have just face lotion, and my charger goes on there. My phone goes on there at night. That's really all. It's kind of small.
Yeah.
All right,
Nothing
cool.
exciting on my. You were looking for some dirt.
I was looking for some dirt, especially from Lori. But Scott, what's on your nightstand?
She didn't
I
ask me
would too. I would
drawer.
expect something exciting on Lori's nightstand.
Me too.
In the drawers, maybe.
My nightstand, I've got a small one now too. So it's a lamp, it's the phone charger, and whatever beverage that I've left there from the day before.
And the day before, and the day before.
Well, no, each night before I go to bed, I have to go in and get the empties, bring them out, then bring new stuff in, because I don't sleep at night, so I spend most of my night sitting up, drinking Pellegrino and watching movies. So, just
All right.
That's what I like to do: watch the TV or read my books.
So Teresa, I think I know this, but we're gonna ask, how did you meet your husband?
Okay, so I met Rich when I was in the middle of a breakup with the other one. So the one I had gone out with for a long time, we'd gone back and forth. And then I had talked to my husband on the phone for like 2, 3, 4 years through work. He was in New Jersey. I was in Syracuse. He was one of my vendors. And he was coming up for a meeting. And my boss, Marie, was supposed to come with us, and we were supposed to go out for a dinner. So, and I didn't want to go. And I thought, I don't want to go to business dinner, whatever. And then Marie ended up, her husband was sick, so I had to go out alone with them. So I'm like, oh my God, is this going to be boring? It's going to be fun. What's it going to be? Well, he got there, met him at the Sheraton lobby up at the Syracuse University, and he goes, let's not bother going to a dinner. Let's go out to a sports bar. I want to see the Ranger game. The Knicks are on. The Rangers are on. Let's go to a sports bar. So we went to the sports bar. We started having drinks and visiting, and I was telling him about my ex. He was telling me about his ex. And next thing you know, we're dancing, we're drinking, we're having fun, we're making out. And that's how it all started. So, and then the next day in the meetings, it was a good thing my boss took up. The next day in the meetings was so funny. I was so tired. I was hungover. We were in the meeting, and then we would sneak to the stairwell and make out. So, and I just thought it was.
I did not know that story.
You did it? Oh, we were in.
So
we
cute.
were in the stairwell making out. Then we had to go to lunch with the whole group the next day. And then I didn't think it was going to lead to anything because he was in New Jersey and I was here, and I figured it was going to, he was there for 2 nights, and we're just going to have a little fling and a little fun. And then the next thing you know, flowers started coming to the offices. Facts started coming because remember we didn't have texts or phone.
Right.
Email coming. He would send me fax messages. Package was coming. So then he invited me down to New York City. So I forgot who I bring. I should ask him. Then I went down to New York City and met up with him. And then he came up to my brother Larry's apartment in Connecticut, and that was it. And then we almost didn't make it because the other one decided he wanted me back, and then all sorts of fighting started happening. Garbage throwing, harassment, everything. My husband had a little sports car. He got garbage dumped all over it.
I remember that.
I remember that story.
Garbage everywhere. Oh my God. Threatening him to shoot us.
Oh my God.
It's a surprise that Rich stayed around and dealt with all that.
It is. And then I was torn originally in the beginning because I didn't know, do I want my ex back? Do I want to start a new relationship? He's been married before, but he's separated. Do I want to move forward with him, which it couldn't work, or do I want to try to fix my relationship with someone who I had spent 9 years with? So.
Well, yeah, but I think you made the right choice there.
Thank God I made the right choice, but it was hard at the time. And
yeah, I'm sure.
He had been married before. I didn't know if he ever wanted to get married again. I knew I wanted to get married and have kids and have a serious relationship. But after what he had been through, because he was married, his wife had left him for another man. What if he didn't want to get married and have kids and do everything that I wanted to do that I was ready for? Because I was a late bloomer.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
How you guys were already married.
And I was getting divorced by then.
Yes, I think you were divorced by the time
I think I was going through the divorce, yeah.
Yes, because I remember you used to come up to Keller Road and Brewers at my mother's and
you
used to talk all the time.
Yeah. So Lori, how'd you meet Jeff?
Oh goodness. I met Jeff online. And it was my son pushing me to go online because he got sick of me calling him and crying over the last one. And he's like, Mom, just get online, talk to somebody. I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to date anybody. And he just was like, Mom, you just I'm like, he goes, you don't have to date anybody. Just talk to somebody. I'll make you feel better. So he convinced me to go on a dating site, and I did. And it was hard because it was like, who do you pick to talk to? Who's the creep? You just can't tell, right? So I decided to ignore the pictures and read what they wrote, because obviously we all want to be attracted to the person, right? But I just thought, you know what? I've done the attraction. I just want somebody to talk to somebody that's going to be nice. And I ran across Jeff's picture, and he's in the ocean, and he's with a dolphin, and he's smiling, and I thought, he looks like he's got a nice smile, and started talking to him from there. Although he insists he messaged me first, but he did not.
Nice. But he did not.
Yes, and it's funny story is when we went on our first date about a month later, we went to the waterfront. I met him there, and everybody at work was teasing me because they're like, how is it going to feel to go out on a date and you not buy dinner?
Oh, right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
So we go to dinner and his credit card declines.
Oh,
no. Oh, no.
I'm like,
that's got to be embarrassing.
Don't worry, I got it. But he was so embarrassed, and it was so funny. And he would just have this cuteness about him. Like, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because it's I work where I see these cards decline all the time. And I'm like, well, let's go ahead and give it another date. And he goes, I promise my card's going to work. I'm like, well, God, if it doesn't. That's how that
That's
happened.
nice.
Wow.
And then
Oh,
one
that's
of the first
so
dates
cute.
too, didn't
What?
one of the first dates one of your other first dates, didn't we like call you when you were making him dinner and he was coming over?
That was Jeff.
Yes, I remember
That,
because you didn't meet us out, but we FaceTimed you.
you
And
did.
we FaceTimed you and you were preparing the dinner, and then
I
we met
was.
him when
You
he
met him.
came-
I scanned the phone. You did.
Yeah.
Yep, we met him via
Yep. I
FaceTime.
tease him that he's my Danny DeVito.
Oh.
He's adorable. He's a good
Oh,
man.
that's nice. That's nice. So that was online, a successful online meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many of them are not that successful. I just got to tell you.
No,
It's
That's
very,
true.
very.
No, they're not.
No,
Well,
no. Teresa's had bad experiences. I've had bad experiences.
Well, it's funny because I did go out on a date with another one and very attracted to him. But it was like you knew I was going to be another older version of what I had just left. And I could tell right away. And he was
Okay.
very handsome. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to be dating another you know who. But just,
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was like, oh, yeah, he's going to be
All
a lot
right.
of fun.
I'm going to kick in with the first guy question of the
Oh,
night.
boy.
In between
Oh,
Teresa's questions, I'll throw in the guy questions. And the online thing is a perfect way to start. Because Teresa, I know you've done Teresa, you probably never have even had to even think about doing online dating. It was
No, I've never done it.
never a thing. Okay. But I still want your
I don't
opinion
even
on
think
this.
it
But
existed when I got married. I don't think.
no,
Did it
they
exist?
wouldn't have.
No.
No.
It didn't exist.
No, Plenty of Fish was still just a whole bunch of guppies. All right, so so listen, this is for guys.
Just for
You
guys.
know, we're trying to put the good pictures out there. You know, we're trying to like put the right words and all this stuff. And what is the most important thing for a guy to share that you want to know? Teresa, I'll ask you. What is the most important thing for a guy to share online? The information that you really want to know, is there any kind of like, I'd really like to know this before anything else?
No.
No?
No. I think that's just a vibe. I think that you can just kind of, when you're reading the profiles, you can tell if it's BS a lot of times, or you can tell if it's kind of sincere. I would like sincerity. I would like an honest person.
Like maybe just hear, this is what I think about stuff. You'd like to see something like that instead of, yeah, and then I took my Ferrari down to the beach and went on.
That doesn't impress me. But I will say I did see one honest guy online. Although he was very honest, but his profile said, I'm just here for a good time.
Oh,
I don't want a relationship. I just want to. And I'm like, okay, well, at least it's honest. I mean,
Right.
The honest guy, also known as the loneliest man on the
loving.
internet.
I don't know. There might be some women down for that.
Lori, is there something that if you, I mean, obviously you found your guy and that's terrific. But what do you think guys should be putting out there? What information or how should they share about themselves?
stop with the muscle pictures. We could give
Oh.
a shit.
Oh,
Okay. We don't want to see your muscles. At least I don't. Do you, Treese?
No, with
No.
your shirts
No.
off,
Oh,
posing.
please. Please. There you go. Button it up. Button it up,
Button it
baby.
up.
Don't
Up,
like to see
Buttercup.
that. Oh my gosh. Like you said, the cars, the bragging, I think that Treese is right. You want to see someone that seems sincere, says real things, and the thing that really shocked me was that it was hard
Excuse me,
finding
taking a cough
somebody,
drop. Hold on.
somebody my age that wanted to date me. It was either really young, it was weird, really young want to date our age because we know our way around. We're not going to get pregnant, right?
The whole cougar thing.
Oh, we can have fun and go on our way. And I think they think we're going to be the sugar mama. Been there, done that, and again. And then, or the really old. The guys that are our age want the 30-year-old.
30-year-olds, yeah.
Yep. It was that.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
It was really important for me to find someone close to my age after what I went through dating someone 9 years younger.
Yeah, Tara was telling me I should expand my parameters because I had it from like 54 starting to like 62, and I'm like, yeah, that's about all I can deal with.
Yeah.
I don't want too much younger than that. I don't want any older than that.
But I do feel bad for you guys that are dating now because it is hard. It's exactly what Lori said. A nice woman our age looking for a nice man, they're looking for younger women. They're looking for younger, hot women, and they don't want to date someone their own age. And then it leaves the pool for us to, I have a lot of friends that are divorced or, looking for someone and they just can't find the right person. And
Now, not all of us are like, it's not all of us. It's not, but a great number, I would agree. And I've been known to get involved in the guy talk, and maybe out with my friends where, listening to music or doing a gig or something, and talk about young girls. I would not want to date anybody that much younger than me. I don't find them interesting, and I don't know if that's like sounds weird, but it's somebody who's in their 30s. They don't have a lot to share with me. That's interesting. And besides the fact, my oldest daughter is 30 something.
30 something.
How old is she, Therese? I keep forgetting.
I want to say 35. 34, 35.
35, 36, I think. Yes, you're right. Yeah. And so it just doesn't make any sense. I find it creepy, but that's just me. So it's not all guys, but I was curious about that. What's a good way for guys?
Guys that are like that.
What's that?
I said, but there are guys that are like that. I have like a couple friends where they left their wives, they met a younger woman, and their kids were only like so many years younger than them. And it was embarrassing. And I felt bad for the wives. And then they would get the younger wife pregnant, and the baby came into the picture, and it was horrible to see.
Well, yeah. I've got a handful. I got a handful of friends that came down to Florida, made themselves a lot of money, and they've got they're near my age or older, and they've got 20-year-old wives. They just don't speak English. They get they're bringing them over, and it's like I don't see the attraction to that. But Therese, let's go on with your questions. What else you got? What's next?
Oh, geez. Okay. What qualities are important to you? Are important for you and a partner? Lori, go ahead.
Oh gosh, every holiday, but it's because for me, I work, so I get 3 holidays a year off: Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So I'm jealous of the holidays that people get to spend together. 4th of July.
Therese, did you say holidays or qualities?
Oh, that's it.
Qualities.
Qualities.
That's okay.
Okay. Qualities. Okay.
What qualities do you like? I love Thanksgiving.
I want to be home at Thanksgiving.
That's fantastic.
God. I don't blame you, Teresa. So qualities in each other. For me, someone that's responsible, that's going to be all in, not half-assed, because there's a lot of that out there.
There's a lot of that out there.
There is. I mean, that the one person I remember, we went out on a date and he said, "You know what's really attractive about you? You don't need a man." And I was just like, "But I want a man." It's not about a man, but what he was getting at is that, I'm not going to have to, help you. It's not about that I want the help, but it's nice to know that you've got someone that's all in. I mean, after what
like a partnership
through with the last one, I want someone that's all in, not, someone that, I mean, I can mention silly things like I'll just say, "Oh, that doorknob's loose. I got to fix that." Because I was so used to doing everything. Mm-hmm. And without even knowing, I'll go to work and I'll come home and it's done.
Yeah.
Stupid things that I never had. To me, that's huge. That's someone that cares. He's
Yeah.
listening.
Right.
He's listening to me.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's important.
What do you say,
Teresa?
Teresa?
Oh, my qualities? Well, I like the qualities that I think my husband has is I like that he's very hardworking. He's wonderful and kind and loving and caring. He accepts me for who I am because sometimes I get crazy and wild and loud, and I get mad sometimes. People say, "How do you put up with her?" You know, because I'm talkative and I, get up in the morning and I'm all happy and I'm like, "We're going here, we're going there, we're doing everything," and he's just a great father. I love how he is with Richie. It took us a long time to get Richie, so we're very appreciative of the one child that we do have. And he's just a great father and a great husband. And, it's the little things too, the little romantic things and the big things. And just now we're at the stage where Richie's at college, so we're spending a lot more time together. So now we've just moved into a different phase. And I like that phase too. We've been at different stages in our lives.
Now she's just reading from that list he dropped off. Come on.
He's nosy. I'm sure he's at the bottom of the stairs listening.
I think that's the one thing I noticed when I've been around you and Rich. That is the one thing I do notice is that you two know how to have fun together. Like I've never seen you guys fight.
Well,
you might do some crazy things. You get a little tipsy when we're out with our big meet and greet. And Rich just goes along with it. And he just kind of laughs at you. He'll hold you up. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, hold me up. Well, I had to hold up. We were just down at a head festival. We're like, man, we're getting old because we were dancing on the sand and having a good time and enjoying ourselves. And my feet were killing me and I was exhausted. I had to come home to rest.
That's funny.
We do like to have fun. And I've made
Therese?
him more personable because before he was never a big meeting new people, going new places, doing all this stuff. He was like inside his whole thing and I just drag him along.
She just dragged him along.
Well, that's part of that whole thing about being all in is that if you're going to participate in something, try your best. Do your best to show up and to be. Don't just stand in the corner and look at your watch and just sit there. Be involved and get to know the friends of your partner and things like that is important. So that all kind of ties in with the all in thing. Therese, what do you say is the most important qualities in a relationship?
Well, now for me, if I was going to get in a relationship, I think I would just want to feel like I'm a priority in their life, right? Because I haven't had that in a long time. And this nonsense with the little, you get online, they text you for a couple of days, then they're gone, or they want to text for weeks on end. Hello, yeah, we should meet up sometime, but then they never want to meet up at time. So it's just like, all right, come on, get your head out of your ass. Let's decide if you're going to make this a priority or not, because, I don't have time for nonsense.
Yeah.
I agree. I guess I could feel hurt that you said you haven't had that. But you know what? But I know it's true also. I know that I did not make our relationship a priority. But more importantly, I didn't make honesty a priority. And that was the biggest problem with me is I get that. And I wasn't, I was always trying to pretend everything was okay instead of sharing with you, all of me either. So, and when you don't share all of you, then the other person's not a priority, obviously. So I think that's really important. But this is good. I mean, how important is basic friendship, though? Let's forget about relationship and marriage and everything else. If you're going to spend that kind of time with somebody, how important is it that you actually, it's great if you love each other, but how important is it that you like each other? Lori?
Oh my gosh, I think that's probably the biggest thing for me right now. I'm in such a different phase of my life. It's not about, crazy sex anymore. It's about, it's such a different phase of my life. I want to make sure that I have just a companion that I enjoy being around. It's so different. It's not about, let's, what bar are we going to go to? What, it just is such a different place at this point. Something I can know I'm going to be able to grow old with and laugh about silly things. It's just so different at this point in my life.
Yeah,
I think so too, because I think our marriage has changed throughout the years, and I think that we are good friends and we're best friends, and you know, we do enjoy a lot of the same things, and whatever he had interest in, I became interested in, and whatever I was interested in, he did, and we do so many fun things together. But we do it together, not only as lovers but as friends. Because, like you said, great people out sex party going on over here. You just, you know, it's different than when you're in your 20s and your 30s.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
you know, now I'm thinking, you know, pretty soon we're going to be, not soon, but you know, we're going to be in the grandparent stage. So before Richie gets out of college and gets married, we're in the stage where we're doing stuff with each other, and it's a friendship, but also, you know, husband and wife, and finding things we like to do. We got pickleball set for Christmas, and we're going to start playing pickleball together.
Oh no!
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting for us two athletes.
That should be fun.
Together, we're going on a diet together. We're going to lose weight together, and you know.
Awesome.
Last year we had a golf tournament. I have a nonprofit. We had a golf tournament to raise money for the nonprofit, and they said, "You really want to make money this year? We're going to do something different." I said, "What?" They go, "Pickleball tournament." So it looks like this year we're going to be a fundraiser pickleball tournament. So I don't even know. Therese, how about you? Friendship and relationships.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, how important is it that you actually like the person?
Obviously, it's important. You want to like the person above all else, and like that's what we've salvaged, right? Is our friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, we've known each other forever. I've always liked you. You know, you've always been kind of a good memory when we were in each other's lives, and since then, I think we had a lot of good times together. It's not like we didn't have good times together.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you are one of the most important people in my life. And it's because of that friendship. And it's because, and I love you for that friendship. And I love what we have for some reason. And I think it really had to do with, and this is my next question about these relationships, is I know for my part, I know we both shared this openly, so I guess I could say it. We both carried a lot of baggage in that we never dealt with. And then we kind of dumped it on the floor in our living room and always let it sit there and always walked around it, but never dealt with it. And it was baggage that now I'm dealing with now that I'm single and dealing with it and figuring out a lot of things. How important is dealing with the wreckage of your past before you move into a new relationship, Lori?
Oh gosh, I'm horrible. I'm the worst. I bring it with me. I've got all my baggage. I like to keep it. I don't like to get rid of my baggage for something.
I love it.
Because
oh, there's so much baggage. I don't even know how I can stand up. I'm way down with it.
But Lori, I actually think that's worked for her in her relationship, because each one of those relationships made you stronger. And then it led you to this point where you know what you want, you know what you're going to accept and not accept, and where you're going to be treated. And you don't want to take care of somebody. You want to have a partnership and a friendship. And, you've learned throughout the, years and relationships.
The last one was a doozy, so definitely learned a lot from that one. But the baggage.
No, I remember.
I
felt bad for you.
Yeah.
Lori, let me ask you though, because you're saying you bring this baggage with you. Do you discuss it or talk about it? Do you make it like, not saying you got to share every deep, dark little secret,
no.
but are you pretty open about that stuff? Saying, listen, I've been through this and I'm not going to go there again, and have dialogue.
Certain things, yes, but other things, no.
Okay.
There are things that I just won't talk about.
Well, we're on a podcast. Go ahead, share.
No. No, can't do it.
She has shared with us in private, right?
I can't do it to the world. I can't. Sorry about that. Privately, yes, but not where it's public, no.
So Teresa, same thing. I mean, going in and building a relationship, it is important that you deal with your, not bring a mess into it and take care of things.
Well, I did bring a mess into it. And I don't know how, to be honest, I don't know how Rich and I survived in the beginning, because my ex was crazed, even though he had left me for another woman and we'd gone back and forth. I was worried because Rich had been married. They were legally separated and she had left him for another person. But we were long distance. So I had my baggage and he knew about it, because when he came to Syracuse, he lived through the baggage. And there was the fighting and the arguing. But I was upfront with him. I was confused. I wasn't sure. I didn't know what to do, because at the beginning was all wonderful and great. And the beginning relationships are so much fun, but then I was concerned because I was like, is he going to put up with this shit? And we had to have serious conversations about my baggage and his baggage because if he didn't want to get married and have a future, I didn't want to waste my time. I just wasted 9 years with somebody who I thought I was going to marry and be with. I didn't want to waste time because I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to get married and have kids. And luckily, he was on the same page that he did, even though he had been through a typical relationship, he still, wanted to get married, have kids, and have a future also. But we both had baggage, and we talked about it a lot. So, and I think that's what helped us get through it because I went from one relationship to the next and brought in a ton of baggage.
Therese, what do you think?
I think I didn't really understand the importance of dealing with my baggage until the last few years, these last 3 years or so.
Yeah.
I just kind of buried it all, I never really wanted to think about it, talk about it myself. So why would I want to do that with another person? But I think eventually it seeps its way into, your relationships, your life, your this, your that. So I'm learning now how to handle all of that old baggage and move on and be confident in myself and not listen to all the voices and the insecurities in your head,
Yeah. How many voices are in there?
Well, there's a couple. There's a few. There's a couple.
I met like 3. I don't know what. Oh boy. Is there any other questions you wanted to throw out there, Therese?
Let me take a peek. Whoa. Oh, does everybody know what their love language is?
No, I heard about that.
I don't know what mine is.
I don't know what mine.
You guys should look it up. I think mine is service.
I don't know.
You what?
Shut up. I've heard about
what your love
that.
language is.
Mine is touch.
Yours is touch?
Mine is touch. Yeah.
I think mine is service. I think
it's touch. There's like a hierarchy that you get. And mine is touch and time. And those are my love languages. Is when you walk through a room, you touch somebody. You know, doesn't mean you got to grab their ass, but you just touch their shoulder. You do something.
Oh yeah, he's touchy feely.
I know.
I'm not touchy feely at all.
And although we did enjoy holding hands and stuff, or at least I did.
Well, I mean, when I'm comfortable with somebody, yes. But
okay.
Like you meet a person the first time, and you're like, "Oh, I'm a hugger," not and that's not me. And people have said that to me, and I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm not."
Oh, so, wait a minute! It's not like I'm going through the wind. It's not like I'm going through the Winn-Dixie with a shopping cart grabbing people. I'm not doing that.
Well, listen,
not anymore.
You and Teresa, you can understand this because you both have like that. I'm just gonna say flirty personality, right? Teresa, you know you have that. Scott, you know you have that.
Does it too.
I don't think as much as you guys, though. Honestly,
Lori's more of the sexy personality.
Yeah, that's true.
Sexy?
Yeah, Lori's more of the sexy.
And
I just love making connections with people. I love having that moment to make a connection. And sometimes it comes off flirty, and sometimes it's just stop talking to everybody we meet. Hello.
That's what I do. I like to hug everybody. I like to visit with everybody.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I do have one more.
All right, go ahead.
What couples?
My love language is.
You got to go and take a test.
You should have had us do that before this.
Oh, sorry. Next time.
Will you guys do this again sometime, though?
No,
you guys enjoy it?
Do it?
All right, great.
Oh, yes.
Great.
Okay, right. So what couples do you look up to the most or want your own life to look like?
Well, you know who I look up to all the time? Well, two things. Grandma and Grandpa Straub, because they had such a wonderful relationship, and growing up, how wonderful and caring they were giving not only to the family but themselves. And then even my mother, even though she lost my father early, I saw what the true meaning of a partner was through sickness and in health, because she took care of him through all his sicknesses and never left him. She was always there for him. And I don't even know if that's something that I could do. I mean, hopefully I'm never put in that situation, but it's very difficult to have your spouse become an invalid or disabled and not be able to care for themselves, and you have to do everything for them. And that was one thing that I looked at my mother and I thought, that's true love, that's true dedication, and that's the true meaning of sickness and in health. So.
Well, it's so funny that you say that, Therese, and forgive me for sharing this, but I was just talking about this today with Jeff. I was kind of talking about you, Therese, and I was saying, because we're kind of describing your personalities, because he's really never really had a chance to really meet you guys. And I was saying, I said, Therese was always kind of the shy, quiet one. And I said, when she got divorced, I was devastated because I thought if anybody was going to make it when you were married to Dave, I thought that was going to be the marriage.
I did too.
Why is that I'm like, because you were like always perfect.
I did too. I thought it was going to be.
We thought they were the perfect couple. They were the perfect couple.
Obviously, we were not.
No, I know, but growing up, it was like you always seemed perfect to me. Teresa and I were a hot mess from the get-go.
Always in trouble.
Always in trouble. And then there was the angel Therese, who always kept check a little bit. Right? And so I can't tell you, I was more devastated that you got divorced from Dave than any of mine. Because I thought, shit, if he can't make it, I'm fucked.
So,
wow.
That's true.
That's too funny.
Yeah. It's so funny. I told him that story today.
That is funny.
Yeah. And then look at Teresa. Teresa figured it out and we didn't.
I know.
Well, you know what though?
What
I think the difference was when you guys got married, I was
so
kind of not upset, but you guys were young. You were my friends, and all of a sudden, I found a new group of friends because Stephanie got married, Therese got married, Lori got married. Janice wasn't married yet at that time, but and then you guys had kids early, and here I was in my 20s, and I ended up going out with the guy I was going out with, and I ended up becoming friends with his friends' girlfriends and became close with them. So I felt bad because we had separated a little bit because we are in two different aspects of our lives.
Yeah.
But I think that because I waited so long to get married and I got married so late in life, that maybe it worked a little bit better because by then I knew what I wanted. I had my fun. I was wild. I was crazy. I did what I wanted. We were boating up in Alexandria Bay and going camping, and I did everything, and I was ready to be married, to have kids. So I think maybe if I had gotten married early, I might have been in the same boat as you guys, because we were too young and immature, and we didn't have a chance to. But at that time, I was jealous of you guys. I'm like, oh my God, they found their men. They're getting married. They have kids. I'm lost.
Oh yeah, we found them all
Oh
right.
yeah, we found them.
But I was lost, and then I went with my other group of friends.
We found one, then we found the next one, and
That's right. That's right.
I feel like I shouldn't be in this conversation.
sorry.
Scott,
I met Rich at the right time. It worked out.
Being one of the failures, I feel like I should step back.
Failure.
Hey,
Listen,
you got
life's a
we got
lesson.
other failures here too. So
I said life is a continuous lesson, and we learn as we go along.
That's
true.
true.
Certainly, Barbara. And don't listen. Just because we've been married so long doesn't mean that we haven't had issues and problems and gone through things. You say Trish should never fight, because if we fight, we do it at home, and I can be nasty and mad and pissed off. So,
no, not you.
just like everyone else.
you say that. I think one of my biggest issues in my relationships is I don't fight. I can count on one hand. I fought with Tim, the first one, but didn't fight with Jake. Didn't fight with the last one. Don't fight with this one. I don't know why I don't fight. I get quiet, which is
I do too.
Which is
I do too. I don't fight.
That's where Scott got into it, where you have to talk and be open and honest and let your feelings out.
Yeah, that's where
because
I struggle.
I can't imagine people not fighting. There's got to be something.
I get quiet. Nope, I just get quiet and don't talk about it. It's a problem I have.
And probably your husband died, and
Oh, I got
right.
a speaker. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hi, Jeff. My husband was speaking several times.
What way am I going
I
here?
just sent the RSVP for the wedding.
There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello,
This
hello.
is Jeff.
Hey,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Hi.
Same way on
How you
FaceTime.
doing?
All right, you can go now.
I can go now.
Oh, there you go now. Nice. So, Scott, who's your couple goals?
I don't know. Quite honestly, my mistake is that I grew up in such a mess that I didn't believe any relationships were ever going to make it. And so I think my what I've always wanted was I wanted the Brady Bunch. That's what I wanted. I wanted perfection. I wanted people don't yell at each other. People are always nice to each other. And if things aren't good, you still pretend they're okay. And that's exactly what I kind of brought to us in large part, because every relationship I've been a part of and everything else was so flawed. And now I'm basing, like I said, I think I said at the beginning of the show or maybe before the show, I'm just seeking friendship now, because friendship is the basis of everything that I do. And in any relationship I have moving forward, it's got to be about that. The friendship of trust, of sharing, of everything else. And so I'm making it up as I go along, is the truth. I can't look at a family member or somebody and say that's what I want, because, well, listen, 46% or maybe it's 48% of all marriages end in divorce. Okay. You know what that means? 52% of them end in death. There's no good way out, guys. There is no good way out. You're divorced or you're dead. That's it.
Well, that's true.
I want to get to know our ladies a little bit more. So we have a little questionnaire we like to do. Should I hit them with the questionnaire, Therese?
Oh God.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. So what I'll do is just a handful of questions, and this is something that was done with the Actors Studio and a great interviewer, Bernard Pivot from France. But anyway, simple questionnaire, just answer it. Lori, we'll start with you. What's your favorite word?
Fuck.
All right. Teresa, what's your favorite word?
Bitch.
Okay.
I've been saying that lately. It's the thing with my friends. We've been saying, yo, bitch, or hey, bitch, what's going on, bitch? But that's just a recent thing. That's
All right.
just a recent thing. Okay, bitch.
All right. Teresa, what is your least favorite word?
Oh, the C word.
Okay. Lori?
100%. Exactly.
That's having my least favorite word. Yeah.
Yep.
I hate it when people say caution too. All right. Okay. Lori, what is it that turns you on, like emotionally and spiritually, and just something that really lights you up? What is it that lights you up when you see it?
This is going to be a weird one for you guys, because you probably don't know this about me right now, but my life has changed drastically. But going to church, being in church, I just can't learn enough now.
Wow.
I did see that you got baptized in a new church.
I did.
And I was going to ask you what that was all about.
Study. I love Bible study.
Oh my God. And would you repeat again what your favorite word was?
I know, right? Hey, I'm a sinner. I'm always going to be a sinner, honey. But I try to sin less.
Okay. No more, no less. Just So Teresa, what is it that gets you excited and turns you on and that you like to see?
I like to see like happy people. I like music, dancing, just everybody being happy. With all the shit that's going on in this world, it's nice to have, a diversion.
Amen to that. What turns you off? Teresa, what turns you off completely when you see something or you come across something? What turns you off completely?
I think like fighting, arguing, people that are constantly negative and miserable, and I try to help them or give them advice, and no matter what I do, they're just going to be miserable, and that's it. They don't see the good in life. They don't see the good things that they have or appreciative of what they have.
Lori, what turns you off?
Very drunk people.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wait till your wedding. You're going to have me.
I'm probably going to be drunk at my wedding, but obnoxiously drunk people.
Yeah. I got it.
You know, when they don't get hit, they're not happy anymore. They turn mean and
Yeah.
Right.
That's
That's true.
And
Not the
it's not
happy
even
ones.
like they're even being authentic or being themselves. It's just nasty garbage. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Now I probably don't even have to ask number 5 though. Lori, what's your favorite curse word?
Oh, it's terrible. I'm trying to be better, but I think it's always going to be my favorite word. You can use that word in just about every sentence.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're talking.
That's my favorite curse word too.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but let's just fuck off on that and move on to the next thing. All right. Teresa, your favorite curse word?
I think it's fuck too.
Yeah.
You fucking bitch.
It's really universal.
It's more universal.
Everybody understands that word and what it means. You don't have to explain yourself.
That's right.
Exactly.
And you can use it 2 ways. You can use it if you're angry. You can use it if you're happy and excited. Got many meanings.
Exactly.
Or confused.
Or confused.
Surprised.
Surprised. They're universal.
Because it's like when you jump out of an airplane and just before you pull the parachute, you're like, holy fuck, this is great. And then when you pull the cord and the parachute doesn't come out, you can use the same word in a whole nother way.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Teresa, what noise do you love to hear? What noise?
What noise? Probably music.
All right. I love that. I'm all about that. Lori, what noise do you love?
My grandchildren laughing.
Oh, good noise.
I love that one.
Good noise. That's a good noise. Lori, what sound do you hate to hear? What sound do you hate?
What sound do I hate? Smoke alarms, because they're going to go off, the little motherfuckers.
You didn't have to put fuck in this question. You didn't have to. Good job.
I'm right, though.
Nice job. Teresa, what sound do you hate?
When you go to the dentist and they put that little the little drill on.
Oh, the drill? Oh.
I can't take it. I can't take it. Can't take that.
Does anybody feel that just thinking about it?
Yeah.
Awful.
Okay. A couple more questions and we'll be done. We're going to wrap this up. Teresa, if you could do any job, any profession, just try it. What would you like to try?
I'd like to be one of those CSI investigators. I watch all those crime stories and all those investigation stories. I like the murder mystery, solving the crime, just like in Charlie's Angels.
You guys got to do like a murder mystery train ride or something like that. You got to do one of those.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Lori, what profession would you love to just try?
Well, I had a profession that I thought would be fun, but I'm not going there anymore. So
what was that?
What was that? What'd you say, Teresa? No, I thought it'd be really fun to be a porn star.
Oh,
right?
Well,
it would have been. Oh gosh, I think it would have been fantastic. But now that I'm old, I would love to own an antique shop.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would.
I want to run outside with crimes.
Huh? I know, but yeah, I don't want the gore. Yeah. I don't want to see dead people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see dead people.
I don't want dead people. I just want all their shit that I can sell. That's what I want. All right.
Exactly.
All right, Lori, what profession would you never, ever, ever want to do? Never.
Oh, the Dirty Jobs guy. Steve, what's his name? You know the show Dirty Jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be throwing up all the time.
Mike something, right? Mike something.
But yes. Oh my God. Jeff loves that show, and I'm like, I struggle. I'm like, do it. Definitely wouldn't want that job.
Teresa, what job would you never, ever, ever want to get close to or do?
I wouldn't want to be a hooker.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching crime shows on that too, where these poor women and they have to be used for sex and they're go the next night have sex and they get beat and they're bruised and they don't get paid.
That's why you
too
become
much
a rock
TV.
star. You get a lot of money,
The what?
and then you could be
No,
choosy.
No, the other guys think, well, if I was an escort, probably I could make a lot of money.
Yeah, there you go.
It must be.
All right. Last question. Teresa, we'll start with you. If God does exist and you end up one day, obviously, at the pearly gates, what would you like God to say to you?
Come in. You're welcome in. You're welcome inside. I'm always. I want to. I don't want to go down in the other way. I want to go up.
All right. Good answer. Lori.
Open arms.
I'm glad you made it.
I'm glad you made it.
I'm glad you made it.
Mine is Elvis and Jim Morrison have a table waiting for you.
That's good.
But anyway, thank you. That just gives us a little insight into you guys. Not that we need it much. You guys are pretty much open books. We appreciate you guys sharing your stuff here. That's cool. Maybe we could do a series of these, Therese, and maybe tackle different things. I think this is kind of a nice little panel. Every once in a while, every couple months, we'll get together and just do a little show. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We can get
All
into
right.
more juicier aspects of marriage.
Yeah, that's right. Lori will be married by then.
Yes, I gotta be
Yes.
good. So I'm now going to church too. So I gotta be good.
Lori, when you get married? When you get married?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, you're in New York and you're gonna get married in February?
On a Wednesday too.
And tell him where, not just in New York, but
Not New York,
We're going
but
to
in
Mexico, the snow belt.
It is.
Yeah.
Snow
Don't
belt.
stop. It's
You
gonna be
better
fun.
hope
Though.
it doesn't go.
it is going to be fun.
When I was young, I used to race motorcycles in Mexico, New York.
Did you really?
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, my old life, my long time ago.
Well, that's where my parents' camp was in Mexico. We used to go right by the East House. Yeah.
That was their first camp. The last camp they had was up north, up near my grandparents' house near Pennellville.
Oh, my brother lives in Pennellville.
No, my parents' camp was in Mexico. They rented a cabin once up near there.
Well, I
when
don't know.
when we were younger, though.
Yeah, whatever
like-
the place was that Matt and I got thrown out of 3 times.
Yeah, I think that was we rented that cabin. Their camp was
Oh my gosh.
their camp
There's another podcast.
was when we were older, and it was actually in Mexico.
Well,
What's that?
Yeah. Well, this
The
is
Adventures
been
of Matt
great.
Scott.
I don't know.
What? Matt and I, we got in all sorts of trouble. And I remember you guys had a camp and we went up there. We were riding motorcycles or something when we went up there. And we got in trouble for going too fast or being too loud on our motorcycles or something. Do you remember that at all?
Probably that. No, not really. But that could have been when they just rented like for a week or two in the summer, because they didn't have their camp until, I know I used to bring Jessica and Rachel used to go there. So it was after I was married.
Wait a minute, is that you and
Hey, that's us.
Yes.
That's us back in the day.
Babe.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Doesn't even look like you.
Teresa and I have some fun camp stories.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, we
That
do.
could be another
I'm
podcast.
sure.
Sounds like that's
Yeah,
a
we
whole
should
show
do
by
one.
itself. There.
We were
Yeah.
so bad.
Oh, jeez.
Grace was happily married. Being
That would be
oh,
fun.
shit, we pulled you in. You were bad a few times.
Me? Yeah.
We pulled her in.
A few times, yeah. Some of our babysitting adventures. Oh my God. Do you remember on James Street? Oh.
Some of those things went awry. Wasn't one of the boys left in the bathroom when we left?
Yes.
Did we leave?
Yes. And we left and we had to go back and knock on the door.
They were in the bathroom. We had to go back and knock on the door and say, we have boys in the bathroom.
Yeah. I'm
never
sorry,
did
but we
that,
left.
never did.
No,
Wow.
we never did.
What to do? They should have ran out the back door.
I know.
That was so
That
bad.
was so bad. That was
How
bad.
did we think they were going to get out of the bathroom?
I don't know. They weren't supposed to come home that early. That's the problem.
I know. They were home earlier than expected.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
God.
Well, we have unfortunately run out of time for this show. We will be doing this again with
we should.
Lori and Teresa. We hope so. Teresa, how do we wrap up this show? What do you take away from this?
I don't know. I think we got some good advice. We got
I
some
think
good
that
advice.
everybody has their own path in life and their own path to love, and eventually everyone will find their person and their happiness.
There's
There you
no
go.
Or a friendship or a companionship.
Notice how easy that was for the person who is already married to say.
Yeah.
For us single
No,
people, we're
Lori's
just sitting here
found
saying,
love.
shit.
You're on the right path, Scott. Teresa's
There we
out
go.
there looking. I mean,
We're all on the right path. We're all exactly where we need to be. Exactly where we need to be. But anyway, for our guest, Teresa, Lori, and of course, the great Therese and myself, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Exes. And please remember to subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you share this with your friends and leave a comment so that we know what you think about the show. And if you'd like to be a guest or have some ideas about topics you want to cover. And remember, we cover relationships and we cover true crime, which many times cross over. So it actually works out quite well. For all of us, I want to wish everybody a great, happy, healthy 2024. Just a reminder, everybody, a lot's going to be happening with politics, with this, with that all year. People are going to be taking sides and taking up arms and doing all that. And it's just, listen, diversity of opinion is what makes us great. Allow others to have their thoughts, have your thoughts, share them, learn from them, and then move on. Hatred, anger, resentment, that's not the path for growth. That's the path to move backwards. And we don't need to do that. So everyone out there, please be kind to each other and be kind to yourselves. And hey, for all of us, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time, right?
Thanks, you
Bye.
guys.
Love
Bye,
you guys.
everybody.
Love ya.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.